NordVPN is one of the top VPNs on the market. NordVPN provides performance boosts, making it the fastest VPN. With 30-day money-back guarantee, please consider grabbing the latest deal linked in my description. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for clicking on yet another episode of Thinking Out Loud. So on today's episode, it's going to revolve around what do we want to see in the future of GTAOnline. GTAOnline, as we know it, is a pretty old game. Came out, I want to say, almost a decade now. It's like about 8 to 10 years now. It's been out. It's been out for a while. And I feel like oftentimes it definitely shows its age for some stuff. Like, yeah, when you get to doing certain things and you go around certain places and start showing its age, in my opinion, it's definitely starting to get a little old, like start looking like it. For those that may have played it for, the beginning of time and maybe consistently played it, you may not notice anything really. You may just not notice anything really that is like bad to look at. But the game, let's be honest here. The game is old. The game is really, really old. And yet we still play. We still have fun on that game. I know I do. I say I hate the game. It's so old and it's whack. And yet I still get on it and stream it for hours doing whatever. But anyway, here's the thing. GTAOnline may be old, but it's definitely not going anywhere. And a month from now, we will receive an expanded and enhanced edition of the game, which means it's a re-release of a re-release of a re-release of a you get it. Like I said before, it's been out for a long ass time, and Rockstar just keep pushing it out. And you know what? We're part of the problem because we just keep buying it. Well, yeah, so that is basically it. Like, the future of GTAOnline is really like, what does that even look like? What is something when it comes to the future of GTAOnline? I would love if we got an expansion on, let's say, I know this is not something that we all know, this is disbelief of us to even thinking about, but I wish that Rockstar kind of went backwards a little bit and updated what we already have before we move forward. I wish that was the case. I wish that was a priority they made to make certain DLCs they already put out better. Those DLCs, those little businesses, the heist, the this and that, we have played them. We know what works. We know what doesn't. We can tell what's a bug. We can tell what's not. I wish that when Rockstar made it a thing for their feedback, they actually put it into the game. They actually fix what people would suggest to be fixing, whether it be bugs or just something that's like considered like an inconvenience or something. Like, I wish that was a thing. I wish that was like part of the reality. I wish, obviously, like many other people, I wish Rockstar listened to their audience. Yeah, I wish they listened to us, but that would be my thing. I wish in the future, and I obviously this is not going to happen, but I wish in the future Rockstar kind of went back and made the stuff that we already have better. I would have loved that to be considered as fuller content while we wait for like something bigger, like way bigger, like more heist or maybe another business or maybe just something different that we're not even thinking about, like we have yet to think about, or something so ambiguous that we may think about it, but Rockstar is like, you know what, we may do that. As some of you may know, as I kind of mentioned in the beginning, I'm definitely a veteran when it comes to GTAOnline. I've been playing this game on and off since it came out, right? So it's been a long ass time, right? Rockstar has continuously have this thing where they cater to like potentially new people that come on, new players, and that's really whack because I'm not new anymore. Like, I haven't been new for years. I would want some type of incentive, and I can't stress this enough. I am not talking about log in on Thursday to fucking get a t-shirt. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like real cool, exciting incentives. I don't even know what that would be, but there's like so many options out there. There's so many things that people could like throw around. I have no idea what that would be. I'm not talking about just money necessarily. I mean, that would be cool, obviously, but something cool too. Like, what about us? What about the veterans? We've been playing this game for a long ass time. You know, I haven't seen literally all the updates that came out, but I was there for a huge amount of them. You know, I've definitely loved this game, which is why I keep playing it, even though it's super old and it's really shows its ass half the time because it's old, and you know. But what about us? They do the same shit for Red Dead. Red Dead is another thing where Red Dead, they cater to the new players to Red Dead Online. I mean, they cater to the new players on Red Dead Online. They don't give a shit about veteran players, you know, the people who's most likely been there from day one. I too have played Red Dead from day one. I played it, loved it in Red Dead Online, like, it was cool. Had its, you know, issues in the beginning, like a lot of issues. A lot of issues in the beginning, but then eventually it got better. And now it's dead. Red Dead is dead. Red Dead is a dead fucking game. Let's move on from that, all right? Another thing I want to mention is I would love to see, like, in the future GTA Online, like, more heists. I love heists. I want to do more heists. I want to do more of solo player friendly heists. Let me mention that because that's important. I can say here, let's do heists, but then don't give us another, like, situation where we're stuck doing it with up to 4 people, or we're stuck doing it with at least another person. Let's have more variety. Let's have it to be, I know, like, you're thinking, well, it's an online game. It's a multiplayer game. You're supposed to play with multiplayers. Fuck that. I'm one of those people that, like, I like to be myself. You know, I want to at least have that option, because you do have an option to play up to 4 people with Kyle. You know, you have an option to have up to 4 people for a casino and Doomsday, you get it. But for, like, the OG heist, there's no option there. It's 4 or none. Like, you don't have 4 people, you can't play it. You can't run it. I don't want to be stuck with 4 players, or up to 4 people, right? And a total of, for heist. And I definitely I want to be able to have the option of having it to be at least one person, which is me, solo. So I would love to see that. And, like, again, one of my first things was I want to be able to, for Rockstar to go back and, like, update stuff. Let me explain what I mean by that. What I mean is, I've always said this in pretty much every time I talk about Kyle. Kyle has so much potential, like, among other DLCs, but I play Kyle so much, it's ridiculous. But Kyle has so much potential to be expanded upon. Like, expand Cayo Perico. That would be dope. Like, in a sense of, we need, like, Cayo Perico has so many places on the map itself where you could potentially have more tools for you to use, whether it be a grappling hook, another outfit spawn. I don't use bolt cutters, but bolt cutters is an option. Like, more fucking bikes. Why you don't have more bikes on the island? Which just doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, there's so many more areas on the map that I don't use. Even when I want to switch it up and use a different tactic on how to enter the island, how to spawn on the island or whatever, I straight up don't use. And I'm sure there's so many people, because I've seen so many videos, so many live streams of people using the drainage. A lot of people use the drainage. So I would assume that a lot of people who don't even frequent, like, other methods, and, you know, no shame to them, it works for them. But for me, I hate being stagnant. I want to be in a place where I try a little bit of everything and go from there. Like, I happen to have a thing where I do the Bitcoin approach a lot for Cayo Perico. That works for me. You know, I usually get my secondary first, then my primary, and then jump off where you need to jump off with the bike. That's usually how I do it. Totally do that. Or maybe slightly different if there was, like, more areas, you know, like, more places to spawn into the island, more places to let me grab an outfit, or maybe not grab an outfit, or something like that. Like, I wanted more. Like, there's so much more places to go in the island that I know for sure I don't go. Like, I explored the island when it first came out, spent a lot of time on it, you know, there's scope out and all that stuff, but there's so much stuff, or there's so many places on the island that we can, you know, use. Those other places could easily probably be, like, another content. Another contact could have, like, hit us up, or that could be, like, a DLC in itself. It could hit us up and be like, yo, Mini Majazo has this from us, right? And that can open up a new way to infiltrate the island. You know, like, hey, he stole our fucking mixtape. He has our mixtape. Let's go get it. Can you get it for me? And then we go. You know, we go get it. And then that contact basically has a different way of us getting on the island. Because we have the smuggler, the drug smuggler or whatever. We have the smuggler route that we would get on the island. I'm just saying, like, I feel like there's definitely potential for that to be expanded upon. Maybe not what I'm saying, but just in general. Like, I feel like Cayo Perico, it was a dope ass heist just because it was solo friendly. You know, I love that. I love that. I wish that Casino was a bit solo friendly, because then I'll be running that too. Like, imagine me like running like Casino and Cayo together back to back. You know, that would be a dream. But that's not reality here. So I want to move on, because I talked about some of the stuff that I would like to see when it comes to GTAOnline's future. However, I've reached out to my community. Boring Gang, what's up? I reached out to my community and I asked them what they think. What would they like to see in the future of GTAOnline? And I've gotten some people to mention some things, and yeah. So let's get into it. So the first one, we have Heist 2. I mentioned Heist. I love Heist. I fucking love Heist. Someone mentioned in my Discord that we should have Heist 2. Not sure what that would look like. Not sure what... I don't like the idea of it potentially being locked at 4 people. But I do embrace any type of heist that we could get in GTAOnline. I fucking love Heist. Bring it. Let's do it. But Heist 2, that's what they mentioned in Discord. And they also mentioned they would like to see in the future of GTAOnline better delivery vehicles. I actually wouldn't mind to see that either. Like, I agree with that totally, because MC like sucks. We get the not just MC, but definitely when I think about this, when it comes to delivery vehicles, my mind goes to MC businesses. I fucking hate doing MC businesses in general, and just to think about the fucking post op vans and the trash truck, like, those suck. Those vehicles really suck. Or if you're thinking about like deliveries, I also think about like cargo missions. The fucking Titan plane, isn't that still bug? That's probably still bug to this day. Like, that's not an ideal vehicle either. So yeah, and like, I don't know, I feel like we have a bunch of our vehicles. You know, I kind of like the idea of nightclub. Nightclub is definitely in the right direction, because there's one vehicle, you buy those vehicles, and I love that. I love that formula. That was really good on Rockstar's end. Did really well with getting like relatively decent delivery vehicles. Like, I think that was a good idea for that. Another person on my Discord mentioned a DLC that's not going to be boring, like, immediately, basically. Like, I agree. I definitely agree. I honestly only hosted and played, technically, the Contracts 1. That's it, just once. When I mean the Contracts, I mean the DLC with the Dr. Dre and Franklin and all that stuff. I played that DLC one time. To me, it was whack. I didn't really, like, it could have been better. How? I don't know. It just... I felt like I was missing something. I felt like it was Dr. Dre and Franklin with Lamar and Chop. You would think that shit would be so dope and legendary, but it wasn't. Moving on to another suggestion in my Discord. Someone else mentioned a map expansion. Do we really consider Cayo Perico to be a map expansion? I mean, I don't. I know I don't. Like, I really don't. Because when we go to Cayo Perico, it's only for 2 things. To scope out and to rob them. That's mission based. We can technically go there, kind of like to the beach area to like party. But that's not really... Is that a really map expansion? Like, you could go to the nightclub for that. You're not really missing anything if you were to go to Cayo Perico and just party on the beach. Like, that sucked. That really sucked when I realized, like, damn, that's all you could do? You can fucking scope out shit to rob him, and then what? Rob him? Like, that's nothing. In addition to map expansion, they also suggested higher pay and adversary modes. And I'm just like, As someone that doesn't like PvP on GTAOnline, adversary modes is always going to be a no for me. Whether they get higher pay or no, like, they just stay the way they are. That's actually something I don't agree on, because... I mean, it would be cool for people who enjoy it, of course, but I'm not one of those people. I'm definitely not one of those people. I don't give a shit about adversary modes. Nah, not really. Not at all, actually. I don't play them when they're triple money. I don't play them when they double money. And I don't just play them like, oh yeah, I missed this one. Let's go do this one real fast. No, that's never coming out of my mouth. That hasn't came out of my mouth, you know? Adversary modes are not a thing for me. And I definitely played them, of course. I played a few of them, but they're not a thing for me. So I'm just like, I kind of agree, because I know people still play them, and I know they still like, I know people still play them, and I know people still play them when they're like double and triple money. But for me, I'm just like, there's not really a incentive for me. Like, if I wanted to play PvP, just hop on COD. I've never been a PvP player when it comes to GTA Online. GTA Online for me, in my opinion, is not, or I guess for a lot of people too, GTA Online is not a PvP game. It's not. It happens to have PvP content in it, but it's not a PvP game. If you want to do that, just play COD. Come on. Oh, literally any first-person shooters. Like, there's so many out there. Someone else mentioned that they want to see, like, in GTA's future, they want to be able to, like, give their friends money. We currently have this option, but it doesn't work all the way. So the ability to give your friends money, so there's a way to do it right now that still works, kind of. So basically, if you're in CEO and you're running VIP work missions in free roam and stuff, you can give your earnings to someone, I guess not necessarily in your organization, but just someone in the session. I've done that. However, if I do literally anything else, like to get cash, whether it be to like rob or sell a vehicle, I can't seem to give them the money, right? So there was a way to do it, but Rockstar, but correct me if I'm wrong, Rockstar took this ability away because of modders, I assume, right? If anyone knows, let me know. But I'm assuming it would be because of modders. Like, modders have like a shit ton of money, and then they would just give them to like people, and then people would be like, oh man, you know, like that's how it went. But yeah, so like giving people, whether you're your friends or just someone next to you, whatever, a random money, they want to be able to mug people from more money too. So the cap right now is 10,000. I believe it wasn't the cap before, like for a while, like years ago. So they changed these two things. I don't know if they did them back to back. I don't remember, but I know what happened. I definitely know what happened. So again, someone mentioned in Discord, they want to see in the future the ability to give randoms and or friends money they have, like cash, I guess. And then also the opposite of that, the ability to rob friends and or just players in general, I should say. Players in general, more money. Because right now it's 10,000 is the cap. And that's like, you know, obviously if someone was to have like 500k in cash, you want to be able to like rob the 500k, not just like cut it off at 10,000. So the last person within my community suggested that they want Rockstars to stop engaging, or at least less engaging, of destroying players is like stuff. You know, they're like hard-earned, like waiting hours to accumulate product stuff. You know, like that. Why is that a thing? Why is that the thing in the first place? I never understood that. But yeah, they definitely want to see that in the future. Like either reduce it, remove it, or something. I mean, that's unlikely because Rockstar seems to like chaos. They thrive on it. But yeah, remove that shit or make it less. Why are you alerting the whole fucking lobby that someone's moving product just for them to like potentially destroy them? Like I never understood that. Well, why is that a thing? I don't get it. I mean, I kind of, because you know all roads lead to shark cards, I guess. So I guess their logic is they waited, like that one, like player A like invested their time and energy to like earn the money in the game, and then they waited for the product to like be enough to sell in a public session, and then they try to like sell it in a public session, and fucking player B, which is like, you know, griefer, comes around and blows up the shit. So now Rockstar thinks player A is gonna be like, fuck this game, I hate this community, they suck, and then end up buying like shark cards and like staying to themselves. I think that's like their way of like thinking, I guess. Like I don't know if anyone actually does that, like that whole scenario I just made up. I for one don't do that. Like, I've learned a while ago, like, if you're selling product in a public session, and let's say it's crates for this instance, if you're selling crates, if you're a shit ton of crates, you're by yourself, literally no backup, and you happen to be watching the mini map in a Mark II, because what else is gonna be? A Mark II is coming after you, and if they end up blowing up your shit, all you gotta do is close out. I'm not sure if it works with MC, so don't quote me on it. But for those two other things I mentioned, it definitely works. So I've definitely like done it myself. Whereas I'm selling crates, got grief, had to close app, start over. I noticed that I lost only 3 crates out of all my crates. I was like, awesome. Well, not awesome, but like I said, it's better to lose 3 than to lose a shit ton. All I know is that GTAOnline has lived a long ass life, and it's not